ride with it.
Together we ride.
Season 4! Season 4 of Real Talk with me, Emma G.
And Dinah,
where we will be coming at you every week with real, honest, authentic conversations with executives and healers,
creatives and entrepreneurs
about real conversations, authenticity, and what mental health sounds like.
Yes, raising the vibration one conversation at a time.
Every Monday, tune in here live. Welcome, it's season 4! Yes! I am so pumped for this kickoff event happening right here in my studio. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. My name is Emma G.
I'm Dinah.
And today we are joined in person, live in the studio. Like, I can smell you, and you smell really good. Did you shower today?
Of course. 3 times a day.
In that DC weather. Listen, Erie Ave, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad to have you. Yes.
Glad to be here. Yeah.
So, for those who don't know you, because you are you are a man of many accomplishments, but you also, in many ways, have a very niche audience in the way that you approach life, is what I gather from what I've managed to stalk you about in the nicest way possible. So for those who don't know about Beyond the Behind the Deal, but for those who don't know about your work with Rick Ross, for those who don't know about your life in Dubai as a touring artist, like, tell us about who Erie Ave is.
That's a great question, first of all.
I mean, we're here for the questions.
So in a nutshell, I would say I am someone that's very just fueled and passionate about doing great things in life, right? And some of those things just happened to been, or one of those things was music, and fashion as well. I got into music. I would say it didn't start as music. It started as poems. You know, I was writing poems. I'm a big fan of Tupac, and so growing up, it was, being a male, a young Black male growing up in America. It's kind of hard to express your emotions. They always tell you, like, oh, you got to be hard, you got to be tough. So poetry was a way to kind of express myself, and it wasn't for anybody. It was just kind of for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another. That poetry ended up on an instrumental, and I ended up being in the studio. And my first time in the studio, I think, was in Dubai. Like, to be honest with you, I was like 14, 15 years old. I was in Dubai. It was terrible.
How so?
I mean, I sucked at this.
You're like 14-year-old.
Like,
yeah.
I don't want to say I sucked, but I was inexperienced.
Okay.
I wanted to do something, but I didn't have all the fundamentals yet. With that being said, I believe there's people that could be born with it and don't know of it yet, and you could also just learn something and just take it all the way. And I think I might have already had it, but it was kind of just like pulling it out of myself. Mm-hmm.
I love that. My husband wrote a book, and one of the chapters in his book literally is titled "Embrace the Suck." And but I think that's such a cool, it's such a cool thing to bring up, because I think it's really hard for people to have the courage to do that.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it, right? Birds, right?
Birds, okay. We're going to birds.
Birds don't necessarily have to train to fly or whatever it is. They kind of already have it in them. They just gotta discover that they're fly and they can fly, right? As well as fishes, they don't have to learn how to swim, But check this out, though. If you put a bird underwater, can they fly? You put a fish on land, can they swim? So sometimes it's about just being in the right environment for you to thrive.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking of that process, it feels very intuitive. Right. Yeah. So as you evolved in terms of taking poetry and putting it to music, how did that expression translate? How did you intuitively follow that process?
Honestly, one line at a time.
Yeah.
Because I can't lie, like so when I was doing poetry, because it was for myself, I could just write anything. You know, it didn't matter if I was just like Mr. Green sucked today in class or whatever it is, you know, it won't be going out publicly, you know. But then when it
does
came,
now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr.
sorry,
Green.
Mr. Green. Oh man, my third grade teacher.
Oh Lord.
He was amazing. But then, you know, when it's something that, you know, people can, you know, people are going to possibly hear it, it's more different. It's just like you got to be very intentional about it, but at the same time you still want to be able to freely express yourself without feeling though you're compromised by outside influence. And I think a lot of times that can happen in any field, you know, being influenced by outside opinions and things like that. So I just had to make sure that I was being honest and real with myself, but at the same time making it tasteful enough so people could digest as well.
So you started off with poetry that evolved into music, and now you do like a plethora of things with Behind the Deal, with your fashion label. Sorry, Before the Deal. Sorry,
That's okay.
Before the Deal. That's my ADHD brain. Before the Deal, with, you know, your recent release with Rick Ross, and I feel like I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. Is it
You just say G.
G? Okay. I don't want to cuss on.
G.
You know, you do. It's like it feels as if your career has really, once you found that past sucking, right? It's like you got into alignment and things have just taken off for you. What does that feel like inside the forest?
I would say sometimes if you're not fully present, a lot of things get passed by you like a blur. Because for me, how I tend to operate, once we hear, I'm already thinking about the next. You know, so it's like, and initially, the end goal is where my sight is on. So everything else here is kind of just what I need to do to get here. So a lot of times when I am shaking and baking, moving and grooving, it's like I'm there, but because I'm already there, I'm already past it.
Right.
You know, because technically before I even got there, I was already there mentally. And that is why I was able to get there. You know, I wiggled myself. I don't know. I guess sometimes you got to be delusional, but it's, you know, when it works, then it's just like it's not delusional anymore, you know. So, but for the most part, with learning how that process could be, like you said, what it's like being in the forest, I try my best to be present as much as possible and take in these moments, and also try my best to enjoy them, you know. Because you only get to live once, you know what I mean? And sometimes you could look back in life, you'd be like, man, I did so many things, but it was all a blur, you know? Or, you know, have you ever been to an event, you was like, wow, there was so many people there, I could have probably talked to them, but everything moves so fast, you know what I mean? So even at times, just having an agenda going into something would help. Like whether it's even, like kind of like when you're shooting production, you have set shots. So if you treat life at times like that, I don't want to say you don't want to freely flow, but sometimes you got to be very intentional. That way you could get the most out of every situation and environment and room that you're in.
I think that I want to hear about Behind the Deal. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So Before the Deal.
Sorry, Before the Deal.
I threw you off on my bad.
It was you.
My bad.
It's okay.
Before the Deal.
Before the Deal. So Before the Deal was something that I came up with and created. It was more so of a slogan or a sentence or whatever you want to call it, to keep me, you know, motivated or whatnot. Because around the times when everything kind of started for me, it was like when social media just kind of broke out, and you know, of course, you'll see the celebrities, they're showing great fancy things, and everybody that's normal is kind of like, damn, like they're eating lobster. It's like, well, I'm eating chicken noodle soup. So it's like Before the Deal was a way for me to a slogan for me to not be ashamed of where I'm currently at.
Oh, I love that. That's a cool cognitive refresh.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter so I won't be ashamed about eating oodles and noodles. Even if I have to just eat crackers for dinner, I'm like, man, this is Before the Deal.
Oh my gosh.
Watch me. watch me work, you know.
It's so intentional.
Very
So
intentional.
intentional.
Very intentional. And the best thing about it is, it doesn't matter how successful you get in life, because even Warren Buffett to this day still has deals. So every day for him is still before the deal.
Yeah.
So it's always that space and place where you are before the next level. But when you're very ambitious, there's gonna always be a next level.
There will be.
Delusion.
Delusion.
Delulu.
Delulu.
Everybody seems to be like talking about delusion being like the number one manifestation technique, which, you know, I don't know where different people will be, you know, on this particular topic, but to your hashtag before the deal, delusional statement, I have to say 1,000 times works. For me personally, like, I love that you're embracing that so much. I remember I just finished a busking session. Busking is what we call street performing in New Zealand. And my husband picked me up. Now husband, we weren't even engaged back then. He said to me, "What do you want to? Do you want to busk for the rest of your life? Like, is this really your life?" And I said, "You know what? I think I want to get into public speaking." Delulu, right? 2 days later, I get a call from TEDx asking to do a TEDx talk. So, like, I love that. I love that you have not just done that for yourself, but you're also leading a movement around what it means to embrace that before the deal energy, to recognize that we actually have the ability to create this for ourselves.
Yeah, true.
So now you're doing music videos with Rick Ross on yachts. So, like, what is that about? Tell me, like, as an artist, that just makes me a little bit
honestly,
Before the deal.
that's right.
I'm aiming for Eminem. I'm just gonna put it out there. One day I'm gonna do a collab with Eminem.
You gotta speak it into
Listen,
existence.
it's gonna happen.
So the situation. Okay, so real quick. So one day I was in Philly. Okay, it was. I was in Philly. I was with my business partner and good friend, Dr. Ina, and it was just like, okay, we're done with work here. And she's just like, okay, we could go to New York, or we could possibly, you know, go somewhere, maybe, you know, do some label meets or whatever it is. And something in my heart just like, I want to go to Ethica, you know, and Ethica is a brand that I've been a fan of for a while and whatnot. So long story short, flew to Ethica. The headquarters was about an hour away from LA. It was in Orange County. Went there. It was, I don't know if it was during the weekend, but no one was there. It was a few cars there, but no one was in the receptionist to open the door, whatever it is. So I'm just like, well, damn, I ain't come out here for nothing. I'm like, okay, well, there's some cars here, so let me just hang out for a little bit. Maybe somebody come out. Long story short, somebody did come out. That person that came out, shout out to Kevin. He came out, and I told him everything that I did. I'm like, look, I flew out here. I rented a car. I drove an hour, you know, just the whole story. And he was just so impressed. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to leave until I get you on the call with someone that can help you with what you're trying to do.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so shout out to Kevin for that. So Kevin got me on a phone call with Vaughn D. Wills, which is head of music over there at Ethica. Long story short, he put me on the phone with him, and Vaughn was just like, how about you, if you can stay a little longer in California, come on a Monday, we'll give you a whole office tour, the headquarters, the whole shebang. We did that. We ended up making music. We was in the studio for about 10 hours. Yeah.
Not long.
You know, just only 10 hours, you know what I mean? And then the next day we had another session, another only 10-hour session.
Yeah.
And then at this point he was just like, hey, there's somebody I want to introduce you to, whatever it is. We was at dinner eating, and that was G. He wanted to introduce me to G.
Nice.
So he said, like, you guys have hit it off, whatever it is. We get on a call, and me and G set up a studio session at Ethica. I mean, you know, once me and G met, it was like that. And
yeah, love that.
we recorded, and one of the first songs we recorded was We the Ones. At the time, Rick Ross wasn't on the song.
Right.
You know, and, you know, so we did the video and everything. We shot an amazing video, full production. Shout outs to LR Entertainment. And we put the song out. And stuff like that. Before the song was even out, D. Wills, Vaughn was just like, man, I feel like this record, you know, Ross would sound amazing on this record. One thing led to another, you know, he ended up hearing the record, you know, because, you know, G follows him. He follows G. G's actually officially under Maybach Music and whatnot, and stuff like that. So he heard the record and he wanted to get on it.
That's dope.
Yeah, he wanted to get on it. I got invited to Vegas. I came out to Vegas for a show. I think that was the last show they actually had at Dreas. I think Dreas was like shut down or whatnot. This was last year. And then so the way Ross talk is like he talks like in code. I don't want to say he talks in code, but he doesn't leave any room for ignorance. So when we was in Vegas, he just kind of like walked past, and he didn't say anything throughout the whole night. And he just walked past when we was leaving out. He's just like, Dolphin game on Thursday, and he just walked off.
He's really intentional.
And I'm just like, and G was just like, I think he's inviting us to the game. so we decided, okay, cool. And we like, we're gonna go to Miami. We go to Miami. We get there the day before. Luckily, we get there the day before because we called him and we told him we landed, and he was just like, you guys want to go to the studio? Oh yeah, we want to go to the studio. You know what I mean? So we ended up going to the studio. Long story short, the song was done the same night I got to Miami. The next day, he calls and he calls. He's like, where you guys staying at again? We told him downtown. He's just like, be ready, such and such. At this point, I really don't know what's going on, And G knows him more than I do. He's just like, just be ready. Let's just be fresh. Let's just be clean. He pulls up and he was the one actually driving, and he picks us up and takes us to the game personally. Now, that was an experience that was incredible. Like, and the drive to the game was an hour away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was just like, I had that experience to just sit there and listen to him dropping gems, whatever it was. And just to kind of fast forward, we went to the game. The game was amazing. When we was at the game, he did the same thing he did in Vegas. He walked past. You want to shoot the video tomorrow?
Did you play carpool karaoke?
No. Well, let's just say he was the DJ. He was the DJ. He played all of his amazing songs, like classics, not even his songs. He played classics, and he mentioned things. He just gave a lot of great advice, things about just life and whatnot. Nothing even surrounding music, just showing like what kind of person he truly is. It was amazing. But yeah, he walked past and just, you want to shoot the video tomorrow? Yeah.
Amazing.
He's like, I'll call you in the morning. I'll get the people to get the boat ready. Meet me at the dock and such and such. I was just like, okay. And honestly, I didn't do anything. All I had to do was show up and be an artist. He literally did everything. Like, he's truly like a hardworking individual. He brought the props, the models, the food, the drinks, everything. Like, he really handled himself really well. Rolled out the red carpet. I truly appreciate him. He's one of one.
That's awesome. What an experience.
Not an amazing experience.
Well, I know you're talking about being in LA and in Dubai, but I want to know about the DMV. We're here local. What's the influence? Like, how is it growing up, and how does it show up in the things that you do?
I think the DMV.
Question.
That's a really great question. I think the DMV has definitely helped shape me for who I am when I do step out of the DMV.
Yeah.
The DMV is a very tough space to be, and I don't mean to say that in a bad way, and just in a manner of like it carves you to be someone that's going to be a little more different when you walk into some rooms and things like that. And growing up in the DMV was very difficult for me. I'm from Congo. So during the times when I first got here, whether it was 95, 96, the African booty scratches and all types of things like that was going around. So it was very difficult at those times. But, I was able to, grow past all those things and just become who I am. And honestly, I did that by just, believe it or not, talking to myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Just telling myself how great and amazing I am, how beautiful I am, how successful I'm gonna be, and all these great things.
Affirmations are so powerful.
I think so, and I feel like the thread in what you're talking about today is just the positivity. And raising your vibration to the highest level to truly become the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. And really. And so for our listener, what would your advice be to raise their vibration and an affirmation for them?
I would say honestly, one of the first things obviously, when you wake up, you make sure before you do anything, before you grab your phone, you go bathroom, anything, just you don't have to sit there and say anything crazy or anything long. Just say, whoever you believe in, that higher power, thank you God for everything. And to build more into yourself and pour more into yourself. Like I said, I did that by talking to myself in the mirror. literally looking at myself in the eye. And believe it or not, I learned that from a game my little sisters and them used to play when they was kids. It was called Sims. It was,
I know Sims.
Yeah. You take
Interesting.
So you take when they used to take a character to the mirror. When they take this character to the mirror, the character start talking to themselves, whatever it is. You think they're crazy, but it raises this attribute that was called charisma. And whenever a character had
Look, if you're gonna bring up Sims, we need to talk about Riz. Okay, carry on.
Sims is a classic. You know what I mean? And so when the charisma is raised high, and it only rises when they talk in the mirror, when it's raised the highest, that character in the game is able to thrive, get a better job and stuff. So I see that. I'm just like, wait, let me try that.
Yeah.
So I actually tried that in real life, and that's kind of my secret sauce.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. We have time for one more question.
Okay.
And again, like I feel like you have so much wisdom and experience that people can not just gain from your journey, but from those lessons that we've learned along the way when it comes to how, to your point, when you come from a place like DC especially, how that pressure can really create the diamond of a career, of a human being, of a personality that you've now built for yourself. Obviously taking into consideration all the wonderful people in your journey as well. If you were to like dig into your back pocket and say, like, these are 3 specific tools that you've been able to utilize to navigate your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, or social well-being, what might those tools be?
Now, these are tools that I utilize.
Yeah, sure.
They're not physical tools.
I mean, if you want to use a hammer, that's personally I'm a fan of fork and knife, but
I would say I'm big on affirmations, like anything that speaks life into you in a positive manner, right? So whether that's reading self-help books, which is really one of my biggest to go to.
Right.
So,
I wrote one, so there we go. I'm not usually
there you go. There you go. And with today's attention span, with everything we got going on, so I recommend an audiobook. Get you an audiobook, something when you're driving, you can just have it playing. Or and if it's not a book, I also do, like, on YouTube, they have these affirmations. Some of them kind of like are very repetitive, but sometimes in life, when you're trying to, I would say the brain is so powerful, right? That if you don't think you're powerful, that you're not powerful.
Amen.
Right.
So whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right.
That's little train that could.
And another one I would say is, of course, which should have been first, you have to be aligned with some type of higher power, because, no one is bigger than the program. And if you come into this thinking that you are here solely for yourself, you're already at lost. I believe that we're all in some shape or form or way a gift. So with that being said, you give yourself to the universe.
Yeah.
Because I always feel more fulfilled when I empty myself to the universe.
I love that.
I love
that.
And the third one I would say is eat healthy. And try your best to eat healthy, hydrate, and if you can't get in the gym, take a walk, because your body matters. I know it's a vessel and whatnot, but this is what's going to carry us from A, B, C, all the way to Z.
Yeah.
Z.
That's right.
Thank
you so
awesome.
much.
Hey, Erie, this was a fantastic conversation. I hope that our listeners have gained something. I'm sure they have. And 1,000,002 nuggets of wisdom, inspiration, and creativity.
Season 4.
Yep. Season 4. Here we are. If you want to, reach out to Erie and find out more about his music, all of his links are in the description below. And any last words of wisdom you want to share with our wonderful humans today, tomorrow, and forever?
Let's say, I'll just say this. The biggest risk you could ever take is the risk that you don't take.
Woo! Dropping bombs. I love it.
For all my ladies, make sure you check out Hanifa Official. It's an amazing family business. Make amazing women's clothing. I don't only make music, I make women's clothing as well too.
Man of many talents.
And I make dreams come true.
Until next week, friends, be good, be kind, spread love like it's going out of fashion. And remember,
See you next Monday.
yes, see ya.
Season 4.
you.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
much.
This was awesome.
This is amazing.
Really.
Cause I am searching, don't need to look outside myself to know that I am whole. And I've been learning, made it through the darkest storms, and I've come into my own. And I am worthy of love. I can learn to love myself just because